Hello everyone and welcome to Chapter 4. This lecture video will be guided project 4-2. For this project, you modify a document about maximum and target heart rate for the American River Cycling Club. You arrange text in a table and insert and modify SmartArt and a picture. So let's go ahead and grab our start file. Don't forget to download your instructions. This time you may notice that we have a resource. I like to open my resources first so that I can make sure that I don't forget to save the picture. I'm sure it's a picture or something that I need. So once you click the resource link, it'll open up in a zip file. You just need to click it once. And when you're going to open up that file, double click it here. Left click for it to be selected. Right click, and I'm going to copy. You can also drag it over to any of your files if you wanted to. I suppose if we were in a classroom, I would probably pick it up and left click and hold it down, drag it over to the desktop. But I've actually created a Word folder for chapter 4. And so there's nothing in my folder right now. You can tell that it's empty, so I'm going to select it and then right click and go down to paste. And it takes it just a second, but now you can see there's something in there, and that's the picture. And I'm going to minimize this and let me start the file. As always, don't forget to click your enabling, and F12 is the fastest way to save. If you've watched my videos before, I always give you tidbits of trying to save the fastest way you can, or doing a move the fastest way you can, because on your final you've got 50 minutes with 40 questions, and you can do the math quickly in your head. That's a little over a minute a question, and that's not very long. You're reading the question and then you're making the move. And so if you can do a shortcut, you can do a shortcut on that final to save you a few seconds to add on to a question that's a little bit harder for you to comprehend, or maybe you're nervous and you need a little extra time, whatever the case may be. So just keep that in mind, and I will keep reminding you as I do my lecture videos this semester. Let's insert some word art as the title of the document and modify the word art object. Select the title of the document, American River Cycling Club, including the paragraph mark. Well, I can tell you that I've got the paragraph mark included because I've got a space after the B, but let me just turn on the show hide, and that gives you a better visual. I don't like the show hide because it makes my paper look too busy. I can see tabs. Those are your tab markings, and I can see the paragraph markings. So I usually work with mine off. If you're that kind of a student that's maybe new to using Word, you're not real comfortable with not knowing if you've got your paragraph markings, by all means, leave it turned on. When I'm doing this video, I am going to have it off. So just be mindful of that. Click the Word Art button. Now we're going to insert something. So let's go to the Insert tab, and Word Art is in the text group. At some point, you're going to have to start memorizing what goes across. This is called your ribbon. Once you get used to Word, PowerPoint, Excel is basically set up the same, as well as Access. And Outlook, for that matter, you've got some of the same buttons too. But because we're inserting something, we're doing word art, we're clicking on the Insert button. By the way, I do lots of analogies. Word analogies, story analogies. So now with that selected, let's select Fill, Red, Accent 2, Outline, Accent 2. Change the shape width to 6.5. That's located in the Drawing Tools Format tab, Size group. And I'm just going to click Enter. Click the Position button located in the Drawing Tools Format tab, Arrange group, and select More Layout Options. The Layout dialog box opens. In the horizon area, select Alignment, Centered, and Relative to the margins. And I want to stop there just for a second and talk about this. These are radio buttons. We have a horizontal group and a vertical group. You have your piece of paper here is 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches long. But because we're centering it relative to the margins, don't forget that look at how far off we are in. So there's an inch here and an inch here that they've taken away from us. So you're just aligning horizontally, which is horizontal. The sun rises over the horizon, right? So horizontally. It's like a row going across. Next, we're going to change the vertical area. You want absolute position. Don't change this position. Absolutely leave it the same. And it's going to be 0.2, and it's going to be below the page. That means this will move up to 0.2 underneath of the top part of this paper. And don't forget that this piece of paper, when it prints, is 11 inches long, and we took it all the way up to 0.2, so it's really going to move up here. Click OK to close the box, and everything moved up. So we horizontally aligned it going across, and we vertically aligned it to 0.2, just below the page. Click the Text Effects button, Drawing Tools, Format tab, Word Art Styles, and select Reflection, and then select Tight Reflection Touching. And you can see that it looked like it gave it a reflection as if it was in the water, but it's up against it real tight, and that's all that means. Number 4 is convert text into a table and format the table. Select all of the tabbed text at the bottom of the document. And by that, they're just saying this is tabbed. And you remember when I had the show hide on, you can tell that it's tabbed because that's what those arrows mean. Okay. Click the table button, insert table or insert tab, tables group, and select Convert Text to Table. In the dialog box area for Convert Text to a Table, click the Auto Fit Contents radio button in the Auto Fit Behavior area. Click OK to close. Click the Table Tools Design tab. We're already in there. And verify that header row and banded row boxes are selected and that the other check boxes are deselected. Here you will see that when we opened up and we made these changes to this table, we went to the Table Tools Design tab. First column is defaulted to be selected. So just click it once to get rid of the check mark. In the Table Styles group, click the More button. To display the Table Styles gallery, select Grid 4 Accent 2. So Grid Table 4 Accent 2. In the second column of the first row, one column, there's second column, and then we've got a third column over here. So we want column 2. Okay, place the insertion point before zone. Press the backspace to delete the space between the words and press enter. In the third column, place the insertion point before heart. Press your backspace to delete the space between the words and press enter. All this did was just give us a two-lined header for column 2 and column 3. Use the table selector handle to select the entire table. This box with the plus sign made out of arrows is the one that you want to left click on. Click the Align Center button. So we're going to go to Layout, And I want you to be careful which one you choose. This is aligning the text to the top of the cell, the middle of the cell, and this aligns it all to the bottom. Left, centered, right. So, but we want align center. With the table still selected, click the Properties button, and that's located in the Table Tools Layout, Table Group. Click the Table tab, select Center in the Alignment area, and click OK. So now we just picked this whole table up and moved it over to center it to the paper. Click the Cells Margin button, and that is located in the Table Tools Layout tab, Alignment Group. The Table Options dialog box opens. Change the top and bottom margins to 0.03 and the left and right margins to 0.1. Click OK to close the dialog box. Place the insertion point at the end of the second body paragraph in the first section, and you want to go right up against the close paren. Click the SmartArt button, Insert tab, Illustration Group, and we are going to choose Process in the list of the SmartArt types, and then select the Continuous Block Process. And again, just hover and you'll see which one it is. Click OK. Click the first placeholder and type 220 space hyphen or a negative sign. Click in the next placeholder text box and type your age space equal sign. Then click in the last placeholder and type predicted maximum heart rate. Don't forget to proofread after you get done. Click the outside frame of the SmartArt graphic. Note, make sure that the entire SmartArt is selected and not an object within the graphic. Well, that's why they have you click on the outside, because before, after I got done typing, I had the SmartArt graphic selected, but truly this was the only one that was really selected, and it really isn't selected. The only thing that I'm doing is I'm in there and I'm editing. Just remember that dotted lines are bad. Dotted lines are bad, because if I wanted to change that one, I would click on that line to take out the dotted line. All right, but we don't want this selected. We want all of it selected. So click on that outer selection box. And while you have that selected, change the shape height to 1.5 and the width to 2.6. Click the Wrap Text button and select Square. Click the Position button and select More Layout Options. In the horizontal area, let me move this back over. In the horizontal area, change the absolute position to 4.5 to the right of the margin. For the vertical area, change the absolute position to 0.4 below margin. Click OK and close the layout dialog box. With the SmartArt still selected, select the Intense Effect as the SmartArt. So we are going to go into the SmartArt style located at the SmartArt Tools, Format tab, Word Art Styles, and you are going to select Intense Effect. So we're just going to hover until we find it. Gradient. And then once you get it, and you know what? I'm in the wrong one. We want text effects. Sorry, SmartArt Smart Styles group. Well, I'm sorry. It's not. It's underneath the design. If I had read it, it says SmartArt Tools Design tab, SmartArt Styles group. Sorry about that. So we're going into the SmartArt Styles. That's why you got to read, because if you don't read and read the question first, you won't get it. So anyway, Design tab, and it's the last one in that first row, so Intense Effect, and then click the edge of the first text box to select it. Okay, so that is right here. We're clicking the edge of the boxes. We're going to do each one in just a second. So you're going to click the first one, the far left, and you're going to do Control B. Control B is your short key to bold. Next, go ahead and repeat it for the other two, and make sure that you actually don't have a dotted line. You can see there's a dotted line there. So make sure you click towards the outside of it. Remember, dotted lines are bad, and we want to select all of it. That's a solid line going around. Select the last text box if it's not already selected, and click the SmartArt Tools Format tab. Click the Shape Fill button and select Red Accent 2 as the fill color. Now let's insert a picture and resize the position of the graphic. Place the insertion point at the end of the second section, and it's right behind that heading, Target Heart Rate. Click the Pictures button to open the Insert dialog box, and let's go ahead and locate that heart rate picture that we saved. And go ahead and click Insert. Don't worry about the size and that your table's split. We're going to go and fix that real quick here. Change the height to 1 inch, and then let the width automatically adjust. Click the Wrap Text button and choose Select Tight. Click the Align button and select Align Right. And that Align button is located in the Picture Tools Format tab down in the Arrange group. Align Right. With the picture selected, click the More button in the Picture Tools Format tab to display the gallery styles. Select the bevel rectangle style. And so it's down towards the bottom. It's in the second row. About looks like it's the sixth one in. You want bevel rectangle. Right click the picture and select Insert Caption. And click OK. Select the caption placeholder title, and so we've got a dotted line, so you want to select the caption placeholder, click the Text Fill button, so Drawing Tools Format tab, Word Art or Word Art Styles, and we want Text Fill, and select Red Accent 2. With the caption text still selected, type no, and I'm going to back up just a little bit and take out figure 1. So know your target heart rate. And don't forget to proofread. There is no period on that, so be careful. In the size group, change the caption height to 0.2. Now, dotted lines are bad. I'm going to keep saying that probably the rest of the semester, so it's not really, this won't change it. So make sure you click on that dotted line to make it a solid line. Now you've got your wording selected. So we're going to go up to the height and change it to 0.2 and the width to 1.5. Press the control key and click the picture. So we're going to select both of these objects. Click the Align button, and that's in the Drawing Tools, Format tab, Arrange Group, and select Align Center. So now the picture has aligned to your figure 1 down here, and actually it's a figure 2. Know your target heart rate. So that's center aligned with that. Click the Group button right underneath of Align, and we are going to group the picture and the caption together. So just click Group, and now that's together. They're not two separate objects. Save and close the document. And let's go ahead and upload this. And I just want to close these down. If you get stuck, you know to use the Ask Dr. Barnes a Question tab in Blackboard. Also, don't forget to finish your reading if you haven't done that, and then complete your 2 independents this week, and I got 100. And then follow that out with your quiz. So we're week 5 and we're doing pretty darn good here. Go ahead and get these other 2 done, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks everyone. Good luck.